Welcome to Emotional Well-Being Unfiltered. This is not a motivational space. It is not a fix yourself space. And it's definitely not a place where emotions are neatly packaged into 5 easy steps. This is a space for honest conversation about emotions we don't always have words for, about clarity that doesn't always translate into actions, and about the invisible inner patterns that quietly shape how we live, work, love, and relate. If you have ever felt like you understand what needs to change, but still feel stuck, delayed, overwhelmed, or even emotionally heavy, this series is for you. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing something human. I'm Megha from LifePath Empowerment. And here, we don't rush growth. We don't chase transformation. We don't push past discomfort just to feel productive. Here, we understand growth from the inside out. If you have watched the previous session on why clarity alone is not enough, this conversation is a natural continuation of that truth. And if you're new here, pause for a moment. You're not behind. You're not late. You didn't miss the starting point. You're exactly where you need to be. Because today, we are talking about something that almost everyone experiences, but very few people know how to explain. You know what to do. You have reflected. You have analyzed. You have had the insight. And yet, when it's time to move, something inside feels heavy. Not impossible, not confusing, just hard. And that space, the gap between knowing and doing, is not a character flaw. It's emotional. Let me slow this down and see if this feels familiar to you. You tell yourself, I know what I need to do. Maybe it is setting a boundary, having a conversation with someone, starting something new, resting without guilt, or even letting go of something. You feel clear. You might even feel calm. But when the moment comes to act, your energy drops. You postpone, you distract yourself, you overthink, you wait for the right time, and then comes the inner dialogue. What's wrong with me? Why am I still like this? I should have been better by now. Others seem to manage. Why can't I? This is the moment where most people turn against themselves. But here's the truth, and I want you to really hear this. Nothing is wrong with you. Something inside you doesn't feel safe yet. We have been taught that awareness automatically leads to action. It's true, but partially true. Awareness lives in the mind, while action requires the emotional system to feel safe. And if your emotional system senses risk, even emotional risk, it slows you down. Not to sabotage you, not to punish you, but to protect you. Think of it this way: you wouldn't walk into a dark room without turning on the light first. Not because you're incapable, but because your system needs visibility before it moves. And emotional safety is that light. Without it, the system hesitates. Let me give you some real time examples. Not theory, but lived experiences. You know you need rest, but slowing down feels unsafe because productivity once kept you valued, needed, and protected. You need to speak, but silence once kept you accepted, loved, or conflict free. You know you have outgrown a role, a pattern, or a relationship, but the familiar still feels the safer than the unknown. So your system pauses, not because you don't want change, but because change threatens what once kept you emotionally safe. This is not weakness, this is intelligence. Your nervous system is saying, before we move forward, I need to know we will be okay. Here's where many people unknowingly make things harder for themselves. They try to push past this pause. They use pressure, guilt, comparison, discipline, harsh self talks, and yes, sometimes it works for a while, but eventually the resistance returns, and it returns stronger, heavier, more confusing, because emotional safety cannot be forced. It has to be built. And emotional well being is not about eliminating resistance, it's about learning how to listen to it, regulate it, and move with it gently, consciously, sustainably. So, if you are someone who understands deeply but still feels stuck at times, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not failing, you are transitioning. And this transition doesn't need pressure, it needs support. This is the heart of the work I do through LifePath Empowerment, helping people move from awareness into aligned actions without forcing themselves, without burning out, without abandoning who they are. If something in this conversation resonated with you, don't rush to do anything with it. Just pause, breathe, let it land. And if you would like to explore this work more deeply, you can comment interested below or simply stay with this series and reflect alongside me. There's no deadline here because clarity doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to presence. In the next sessions, we will gently unpack procrastination from an emotional lens, why resistance isn't the enemy, and what sustainable change actually looks like without burnout or self judgment. Until then, remember this: growth doesn't come from pushing hard, it comes from understanding yourself better. This is Emotional Well-Being Unfiltered, and you're always welcome here. With LifePath Empowerment, we guide you design the life you truly deserve.